What is going on, guys? It's your boy Robbie here, and today I am going to be taking you guys through my full mobility routine. One of the biggest things that I get asked when doing calisthenics is, what does my warm-up routine look like? What does my mobility and flexibility routine look like? What does my recovery look like to train like this? Doing calisthenics can be kind of taxing on your body, especially over time. Learning and doing such advanced moves in a row, especially focusing on skills, it puts a lot of strain on some of our joints in key areas like wrists, elbows, shoulders, and even our hips. So today I'm going to walk you guys through my entire mobility routine on how I stay healthy and avoid injuries as best I can so that you guys can too. Now, the very first thing we're going to go over today is the warm-up. For the warm-up, I always like to grab a band. I typically use one of the lighter bands, and I just want to open up my shoulder, these windmills. I also do banded reverse dislocates. And typically I'll just do these until I feel nice and warm. I'm not really counting my reps and sets, but if I had to give you guys a number, anywhere from 10 to 12 is always perfect for that. I'll take this band and I'll tie it around an anchor, and I usually like to go right with the shoulders into some banded external rotation. So I want to keep my elbow close to my body here, pull some tension on the band, and just open up my shoulders, my rotator cuff in particular. Of course, we'll do this to both sides. Warming up is so important, and I really like to focus on those key areas, making sure that I hit each one of them. Going into some face pulls. Face pulls are going to be great. Once again, really warming up those shoulders, doing different rows to my neck, over my head, to my chest, to really just open up my entire posterior chain on the upper side. I'm going to move the band a little higher and go through some elbow exercises. This is definitely one of the best that I like to do. Tension on it and extend out. Keep that elbow locked. You can actually hold your elbow, but I like to just freehand it. And we'll do this on both sides, kind of take care of that. Same thing, other side. This one in particular, I tend to do 12 to 15. Can't stress enough, as many reps as until you guys feel comfortable and warmed up. And then we'll go straight into our lats. For lats, I typically like to grab the band, open up a little bit here, pull with some tension, and then I'm actually going to do these lat pull downs. This is just to work the lats a little, engage the muscle. Don't just go through the motions with the warm-up, guys. You really want to focus on feeling it, opening up those muscles, and getting moving. That is most of my band work. The dynamic side of things, where I like to just get my body moving, get the blood flow going, and this is just going to help us prepare for the workout that's about to come. Getting your heart rate up, increasing the blood flow is just going to help prevent injuries and prep the body for the actual workout. Now, for the dynamic movements, I cannot stress enough how important it is to just move. Movement is medicine, guys. If you move, you're going to be staying more healthy, feeling better, having better blood flow, and just having overall improved mood and workouts. That we forget that simply just getting out and moving, especially with calisthenics under the sun, guys, you're gonna feel 100 times better. I usually pick 3 to 4 different exercises, movement based. Those could be high knees, jumping jacks, and I personally love doing exercises like mountain climbers. And I'll even throw in a couple incline push-ups with those mountain climbers to really prep, stay active, make sure I'm prepared for the workout. Now, this is actually almost, I use it as like a weight, but I got this when I injured my wrist a long time ago, and now I use it to warm up my wrists. Very key for calisthenics is warming up your wrists. You guys want to do different rotations, both here, here, and these wrist rolls especially are going to be huge for opening up your wrists. I also like to do shoulder raises, and I kind of swing out a little bit. I really want to just open up that shoulder as much as possible. So I'll do each side, used to it. Wrist rolls are definitely one of my all-time favorites. Best way to just engage, get active, and you can actually feel it all through your forearms working. For our other wrist exercises, we are gonna head to flat ground. I like to do these wrist leans, really good for just prepping the wrists, getting them warmed up, getting the forearms and the elbows engaged here, and pushing through my scapula a little bit to even warm that up. Just gonna rock back and forth. Also gonna do circular motions Once again, rolling, putting slight pressure on my wrists, just getting it prepared for any of the movements we might do in our workout. Now, I'm gonna roll it out. I usually give it 10 seconds, roll it out a little bit, shake it out, and then we'll do the reverse. And we're just gonna move our hands and fingers in this reverse position, and we'll do sideways too so you guys can see a little better. And that's just gonna warm up and make sure that our wrists are prepared. And lastly, I'll do the reverse, and these ones, same thing, circular and back and forth. Just making sure that wrist is fully functional, ready to handle any of the explosive movements that we might do. Now that we've done full mobility exercises, full dynamic exercises, for our upper body, I like to focus on our lower body as well. So doing exercises like leg swings is a great dynamic movement to just get those legs moving. Don't like to static stretch before my workout. I actually like to do my static stretching at the end, which I'll cover later for you guys. But there are a couple key exercises that I do like to do. Some of the ones include simply holding overhead for handstands. The other one I really like to do is opening up my hips with this simple pigeon stretch on the ground. I kind of just rock through the movement so it's more of a dynamic instead of a static stretch. Another one I'll do specifically for legs is simply sitting in a squat. To open up those legs, this is really gonna help you guys. And I'll actually make it a little bit dynamic by combining it with this hamstring stretch. Now that we've covered all the mobility and all the dynamic movements, I like to do specific muscle building movements as warm-ups. In a typical gym setting, that would look like doing a warm-up set of bench press or 2 warm-up sets to work your way up into weight and to get ready for your top 3 sets. In calisthenics, all I'm gonna do is find easier variations of the same exercises I would perform in a workout, and I'll do a few sets of these just to get the muscles engaged and moving and ready for the harder variations that I'm about to do. Now we've covered the entire warm-up routine that I typically go through before I start any exercise. My routine is anywhere from 10 to 20, 25 minutes. And I don't try to rush it at all. I try to take my time and really make sure that I'm properly warmed up so that I'm not going to get injured to the best of my ability during the workout. Recovery is another super important factor into not getting injured, staying healthy, staying active, and giving it our best during the workouts. Over time, you'll learn what works best for you. I personally always make sure that I get a really good carb source and a really good protein source. I always like to eat some type of vegetable, typically after my workouts if I can. I personally don't care for protein shakes. I use supplements as their intended purpose, which is to supplement if you cannot get nutrients from a whole source. Now, another thing that's really important and not so much talked about with recovery is taking some type of ice bath. Like I already mentioned, calisthenics can be really harsh on your joints and your ligaments, your tendons, so it's really, really, really important to take care of your body. How I like to do this is actually icing key areas regularly. I'm not some super ice bath advocate, I just found that it works really well for me, and it does help when my body feels really beat up. Taking an ice bath does make me feel better. Another thing I really like to do is massaging or myofascial release. Doing some form of foam rolling or massaging or working out some of the knots in my muscles really helps me stay healthy and stay active. I found that if I don't do this or skip this step, it really adds up quick. So staying on top of the myofascia really helps me not feel sore, eliminate DOMS, and just overall feel better for the next workout and ensure that I'm not super tight and can actually move a lot easier. In calisthenics, it's super important, and this directly helps with that. Really towards the end of our workouts that I like to do my stretching. Once I've finished, I really like to focus on a couple key stretches. One of them is a simple shoulder stretch, just opening up, trying to maintain almost like a handstand position. This really opens up my shoulders, keeps them healthy, and helps me work towards full handstands and making sure that I'm not going to be super tight. Your guys' cool down should be short and sweet relatively. I don't like to overly focus on any one thing. In fact, I found that just simply moving a little bit at the end of the workout really, really helps. But ultimately, doing a simple running or walking routine at the end of the workout is a great way to just kind of cool down and feel better so that you can actually finish the workout and move on with the day. Let me know in the comments what video you guys want to see me cover next. whether that's an exercise, a specific stretch, a full workout, beginner's calisthenics, advanced calisthenics skills, or whatever it is, just let me know. And I will catch you guys on the next See Robbie Rob video.